Here it is, the news about the coronavirus. That's right, the news about the coronavirus.
More clouds coming in Tuesday afternoon. Right now, though, it looks like most of the showers will stay to the south of us Tuesday. So other than needing a lighter jacket as we head into Tuesday, you may not need the raincoat until the middle part of the week. Here's your Skycast in the morning. We'll look for partly cloudy skies. Temperatures cooler. We'll start in the lower 40s. Certainly a lot cooler than where we spent the weekend. By lunchtime, only 47. Should make it back to the low 50s with a good deal of sunshine midday, and clouds kind of move back into the evening hours. And we'll look for temperatures to dip into the upper 30s in many places by early Tuesday morning. As far as the trend ahead, we do anticipate that the temperatures will be holding only in the 50s. Notice the drop here for Friday. There's a stronger cold front that could bring some snowflakes into parts of northeastern Ohio by Saturday. Coming up in less than 10 minutes, I'll break down the extended forecast of what we're seeing there. But right now, here's a live look at your radar.
If we open up too soon, we're going to see a resurgence of cases, a lot more people getting sick and dying.
Moving toward reopening, the issue some experts have if governors open their states back up too early. But as we head into the break, here are some of the people doing their part to stay home and stay safe.
We've always been Ohio strong. And now, we need that strength more than ever. It's up to all of us to stay home, stay positive, and stay healthy. And even though right now we can't gather together, in Ohio, we will always stand together.
With coronavirus spreading, people at higher risk must take extra precautions. You are at higher risk if you're over 65 or if you have an underlying medical condition like heart disease, chronic lung disease, diabetes, or if your immune system is compromised for any reason. If you're at higher risk, stay 6 feet or 2 arm lengths away from others. Better yet, stay home if you can. The choices you make are critical. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
Weather on the one from a large band of stations.
Your morning news, weekday mornings on Spectrum News 1. Sunday morning, take an in-depth look at your community. In Focus with Mike Coleman, a half-hour show dedicated to the important issues, driven to bring decision makers together and committed to elevating discussion and debate. Your community, your state.
Here it is, the news about the coronavirus. That's right, the news about the coronavirus.
Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Weather and the sky has always fascinated me, and I live with what I do. I come home, look at the weather forecast, and it's really a part of my life. It's not just a job, it is my passion. I'm chief meteorologist here with Well, we have a very experienced weather team. We know what's important to Ohioans as they make their plans every day because we are part of the community. I'm Eric Elwell, chief meteorologist, Spectrum News 1.
The number of U.S. coronavirus deaths has now passed 66,000.
Still, more states are set to loosen restrictions on businesses during the coming week, trying to mitigate the economic fallout. Governors who have not yet moved toward reopening face weekend pressure and protests. Meanwhile, a top Trump economic advisor said Sunday that there could be another round of relief for small businesses. Karen Capenel with the latest from Washington.
With more than half of states relaxing coronavirus restrictions in some form, others are feeling pressure. And in states like California and Michigan, protests. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer said Sunday she's not been moved.
We know that people are not all happy about having to take this stay-at-home posture. And you know what? I'm not either. But the fact of the matter is, we have to listen to epidemiologists and their public health experts.
Maryland Governor Larry Hogan's response.
Sadly, we had far more people die yesterday in Maryland than we had protesters.
Public health experts agree, underscoring the importance of caution.
If we open up too soon, we're going to see a resurgence of cases, a lot more people getting sick and dying, and we're going to have to shut back down again.
But contributing to the restlessness is economic anxiety. More than 30 million Americans have filed for unemployment benefits in the last 6 weeks. The Trump administration said Sunday that 2.2 million loans worth $175 billion have been made in the second round of the Paycheck Protection Program. White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow said another round of small business funding may be considered.
I guess what I would say to you at this particular juncture, let's execute the continuation of what we've already done. Let's see what the results are.
The U.S. Senate returns to Capitol Hill Monday with more coronavirus relief to be a point of discussion. In Washington, Karen Capa, Spectrum News.
We've been watching some scattered showers and storms along the frontal boundary across southern Ohio, but the main threat's been to the south. Now we're tracking cooler air when it arrives and what it means in your extended forecast on the one straight ahead.
Did you know that customers who use the Spectrum Mobile calculator see they could be saving money every month, even hundreds of dollars a year? The calculator will show you in 3 easy steps which plans fit your family needs and how much you could save by switching to Spectrum Mobile. Whether it's by the gig, unlimited, or a combination of both, you'll only pay for the data you need. Try the Spectrum Mobile calculator today by going to spectrummobile.com/save.
Because it's the real story of us. It's the real story of community. I'm Mary Lee Melendez, anchor reporter, Spectrum News 1.
Weather in Ohio is changing all the time.
We get winter one day and 60s the next.
At Spectrum News 1, our goal is refreshingly simple.
We bring you an accurate, reliable, and local forecast every 10 minutes.
We have an incredible, experienced team of people.
We don't just know about the weather, we know about Ohio.
You never have to wait for your forecast with your Weather on the One.
Weather on the One, every 10 minutes, exclusively on Spectrum. Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Maybe I'll run for president, maybe I won't, but I will tell you that I'm not going to go away.
I don't think Michigan can become the Michigan of old.
We're probably the first professional sports team in the world that was built by the fans.
We're the biggest ice cream ship in the nation, setting the standard for American ice cream.
I get to live my dream. I mean, what could I ask for?
Conversation, Sunday and Tuesday night at 9 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Elwell with your Weather on the Ones. We're going to check out your extended forecast and update you on that. One thing I want to look at, though, over the next few days is the pollen count, where we have seen that number jump. And it's tree pollen mostly, beginning to start to see a little bit of grass pollen. It was in the high category during the day Sunday. It'll drop off a little bit Monday, but generally moderate to high until we get later in the week. That's when we're going to also see a drop in the temperature as some of that cooler air in late tonight, and you'll notice it tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be 20 degrees cooler tomorrow than where we spent the day Sunday. And an even cooler shot of air gets in here by about Friday. Unfortunately, the cool air may stick around not only into this week, but perhaps into the upcoming weekend and early the following week. Looking at the long-range outlook, which takes us all the way to the 13th, expecting to be cooler than average. Typically, we say you need to wait till after Mother's Day, at least after mid-May, before we start doing any planting, and obviously we can get some frost and freeze conditions well into May, and we may get it this weekend. Now, the bright side, if you're trying to get into the fields and the garden, we do expect a drier pattern, cool and dry. If you look at the forecast rainfall amounts for the next week, generally under a quarter of an inch, with 3 systems that impact us, one Tuesday, Wednesday, another one coming up Friday. Most of the rain for the upcoming week will stay off to the south of us, so that is perhaps some good news. Decent day tomorrow, just cooler than normal. You're going to need the jacket back. The temperatures, as you can see, well into the afternoon, into the upper 40s. We'll make it back to the low 50s Monday afternoon, and we'll climb to the mid to upper 50s by late this week, with a chance for showers Wednesday. Then another shot of rain Friday. Could mix in with some snowflakes Saturday morning. Temperatures diving into the mid-30s.
The United Kingdom announcing Sunday a decrease in the number of deaths from COVID-19 over the past 24 hours. Still, there have been an additional 315, bringing the toll to a total of 28,446. The UK's guidelines require that the number of cases continue to fall in order to ease restrictions. The National Medical Director of the National Health Service said in a briefing that the country is now past the peak of deaths, but the decline must be sustained. The CEO of Southwest Airlines says flying, even during the pandemic, is safe. Sunday on CBS's Face the Nation, Gary Kelly explained the safety measures that the company is taking.
I don't think the risk on an airplane is any greater risk than anywhere else. And in fact, you just look at the layered approach that we use. It's as safe as an environment as you're going to find. We are using hospital quality disinfectants, HEPA air filters to make sure that the air is properly filtered and clean. We are not going to remove middle seats or prohibit people from sitting in middle seats, but at the same time, we won't book the airplanes full. If you choose, all the middle seats can be open.
On air travel, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has said, quote, because of how air circulates and is filtered on airplanes, most viruses and other germs do not spread easily. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren coming out on top for Democratic voters as the choice for Joe Biden's VP. In a CBS News poll released Sunday, 71% of Democratic voters say Warren should be considered his running mate, topping the list of Biden's potential female picks. Senator Kamala Harris coming in next, standing at 59%, and then Stacey Abrams at 50%, and Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota coming in at 49%. In the poll, Biden leads Trump in a matchup 49 to 43%. The poll surveyed 2,200 U.S. residents between April 28th and May 1st. The margin of error for that poll is 2.5 points. Speaking of the former Vice President Biden overwhelmingly winning Kansas's Democratic primary, Kansas Democrats say Biden took 76.9% of the vote, which was held by mail. The state party also said the election made history with a record level of participation. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who has dropped out of the running last month, won 23% of the vote. Both campaigns announcing a joint agreement last week under which Sanders would keep all the delegates he earns. Much more ahead on Spectrum News 1. We've got the latest on the COVID-19 crisis as well as your weather on the One's forecast in the next half hour. But first, here's Ohio Voices.
I'm Mike Sloan, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I spent the spring semester and the summer over in D.C., and I feel like something that challenged me was learning how to use my voice. not been the most confident person, and I put myself in environments where confidence was kind of key. To put myself out there, to network, just be my best self. The CSPAN experience, it was very challenging. I learned how to promote art without sensationalizing it. Through the DC program, I had never felt so creatively or professionally validated, and I just felt like a better person. I was motivated by my professors, family, friends, my entire community, who all had my best interest in mind.
And it changed my life. Prior to that time, I've always been a good father, but I rarely got the chance to be a good dad. It gave me a chance to think about the things that not only matter to me, but to everybody. It also gave me a better perspective on news. I spent a number of years in Cleveland and Cincinnati, and it's given me an opportunity to see every corner of the state. I want to empower our communities and redefine what a news channel can be.
Every morning, the people of Ohio have the opportunity to wake up and start fresh.
We want to be a different kind of news channel, putting storytelling and community first.
Well, it's really humbling to be invited to our neighbors' homes and help them plan their day. Welcome to Your Morning News. I'm Sophia Constantine. Take a look at your weather on the one. We've got a large band of precipitation.
Your Morning News, weekday mornings on Spectrum News 1. Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Maybe I'll run for president, maybe I won't, but I will tell you that I'm not going to go away.
I don't think Michigan can become the Michigan of old.
I'm probably the first professional sports team in the world that was built by the fans.
We're the biggest ice cream shipper in the nation, setting the standard for American ice cream.
I get to live my dream. I mean, what more could I ask for?
Conversations, Sunday and Tuesday night at 9 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on Spectrum News 1. I'm Curtis Jackson. Let's get you up to date with the very latest in the coronavirus pandemic. Here's what we know. Ohio's healthcare workers rally outside the Ohio State House. They supported State Health Director Dr. Amy Acton after protesters demonstrated outside of her East Columbus home on Saturday. One of the country's richest men says the U.S. will recover from its economic troubles. Warren Buffett is making that vow in the face of his firm, Berkshire Hathaway, losing nearly $50 billion in the first quarter. Americans who have no bank accounts are having a tougher time receiving their stimulus checks. Those taxpayers are waiting weeks to receive a paper check in the mail. And bird watching is booming across the country as Americans stay indoors. Downloads of two of the most popular bird identification apps have spiked, and sales are up for binoculars, bird feeders, and bird seed. Latest news on the pandemic in just a moment, but first we had nice weather so far this Sunday with highs hitting the lower 70s in some areas. Good morning, let's get a check now of your weather on the one's forecast.
Temperatures will be heading down over the next 24 hours as skies gradually clear and rain moves out late tonight, all before showers come back Tuesday and Wednesday. You can see the showers here tonight pushing off to the south and to the east. As we head through the night, we expect most of the rain to be well gone and the clouds to clear out as well. A few scattered clouds in the northeast as we head into your Monday. It will be noticeably cooler. Temperatures about 10 degrees cooler for your Monday compared to where we spent most of the week. through the week. Next round of rain approaching late Monday night. That'll get in here for the daytime Tuesday. So here's your forecast for Monday for select cities. Lots of sunshine. In fact, we're just shaving about 10 degrees off the temperature. 67 in Cincinnati, 62 Columbus, upper 50s in Toledo, low 50s in Akron, Canton. Other cities about 50. That's it for Youngstown, mid-60s in Athens and in Portsmouth. Your complete forecast all across Ohio on the ones and nines.
For over a month, Ohioans in many different industries have worked from home. But as businesses start to reopen, many will have to adjust to a new normal back at the office. Our Camry Nelson has some tips on how to make that transition a smooth one.
Nobody thinks they're going to die tomorrow. But nobody wants to put themselves in that position either.
Since 2006, the 66-year-old man has been struggling with uncontrollable diabetes. Combine that with the bad cough he's had for the last 2 years, and he's concerned about going back to work.
We're still touching paper. We're still passing each other in the halls if we're working. And I feel for those people who are still working.
Not wanting to reveal his name or employer, he's asked us to refer to him by his initials, PS. As a supervisor at a semi-large financial institution, PS is due to retire in a little over 3 months, and he's among a growing number of people who don't want to go back to the office. UC Health Stress Center Director Dr. Pete Chard says many Ohioans share that concern. So she suggests employees reach out to their employers to go over safety precautions and the new work routine.
What are the precautions? What should I be aware of? What should I be ready for? Especially if you're someone who tends to run a little bit nervous anyway. Sometimes having answers can make that bar feel a little bit more reasonable of what we can expect.
And if you have children and are concerned about leaving them home, you can talk to your employer about possibly changing your schedule.
And maybe weekends would be better for some people. Maybe evenings and nights would be better for some people. And can we play around with some of those shifts? Or even allow people to go part-time that maybe work full-time until their kids can get back into a place where they're being cared for.
She also wants employees to understand that
the likelihood of transmitting disease is significantly reduced if you're wearing a face mask and if the other person is wearing a face mask. And we know that washing your hands is number one key.
Dr. Char says it's ultimately up to the employers to help create an environment where employees feel safe and productive.
As a supervisor, we have to walk that really important line of being supportive of people's nervousness, being responsive and respectful of the things that we can do to keep them safe, but also not making it worse by expressing our own worries and concerns.
As for PS, he's not sure what he'll do if his employer doesn't give him an option.
That has been a debate in my mind for a week or two now, saying, will I go back, or will I just say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm done?
For Spectrum News, I'm Camry Nelson.
The Ohio Innocence Project is now celebrating releasing its 29th inmate since it began back in 2003. Chris Smith was released less than 3 weeks ago, but his attorneys found it difficult to get him out during the pandemic. Smith was exonerated last June in an armed robbery. He was sentenced to 18 years and ended up serving 12 before he was freed. When a federal judge heard that Smith was proven innocent in 2 courts and was at high risk for contracting COVID-19, the judge ordered that Smith be released immediately. But instead, Smith was transferred to the Hamilton County Justice Center, where he was held an additional 5 days before finally being released.
I wanted to come home and I wanted to make sure like every single day I did in there was for something. And I refuse to let anything I endured 12 and a half years in vain.
Chris is now home enjoying time with his kids and recording music that he wrote while he was in prison. Fire departments across the state are finding different ways to keep equipment clean and firefighters safe. Our Ryan Schmelz shows us how one in Northeast Ohio is taking matters into his own hands.
Like many fire stations across the country, Newburgh Heights has had to keep its station and vehicles clean even more than ever.
I knew that this COVID-19 is going to go on for 12 to 18 months, so we had to come up with a way to solve making sure the station and then $450 for the station. So obviously, we do it once a week. So if you do this once a week, in a month's time, obviously, you're talking about $1,800 to $2,200, and that's something I can't afford out of our budget.
And with cleaning supplies like wipes in short supply, Higginbotham had to get creative. He researched what other stations were doing and decided to start using a Wagner airless sprayer and Zep DV7 chemicals. He showed us how it works.
As soon as we fill 4 ounces in a container, then we fill a jug with water, and then just mix it so they snap into the spray gun.
After attaching the disinfectant to the spray gun, cleaning moves fast and effectively.
Saves us time. If we catch a COVID-19 call, once we come back here at our station, we'll switch them out, disinfect the squad completely 100%, and then rotate the squads.
And Higginbotham's creative mind isn't just helping his own crew. After the city posted a video of the cleaning process on its Facebook, other departments around the area have started reaching out.
I'm just trying to help people out. We have to find ways. There's no way we can afford to have a company continue to come in for 12 to 18 months disinfecting the station and our apparatus. It's a cost that, our budget is so tight here at the Newburgh Heights Fire Department that I have to find ways to keep our costs down. And this is one way of us doing it ourselves.
A creative way of saving money and potentially saving lives. Ryan Schmelz, Spectrum News.
Monday marks the 50th anniversary of the shootings on the Kent State University campus when members of the Ohio National Guard killed 4 students and injured 9 others during an anti-war protest. The school will mark the anniversary with a handful of virtual events, including historical videos, reflections, online exhibits, and an augmented reality tour. Also, several well-known musicians, including David Crosby and Graham Nash, will share messages about how those tragic events 50 years ago affected their music and their careers. The school had originally planned a weekend full of in-person events, including featured speaker Jane Fonda, but those were canceled back in March because of the pandemic. The shooting sparked a strike by millions of students across the country, prompting hundreds of schools to temporarily close. To view the virtual commemoration, log on to kent.edu/May4 Kent State 50.
Temperatures are going to be cooling off as we head through the night. It turned out to be a fantastic weekend for most of us, with highs in the 70s both days. Now the clouds have kind of snuck in. We're looking for a couple of sprinkles off to the south. We'll look for the cooler air to filter in during the night. Tonight, clouds will thin back out by morning. We're going to look for partly sunny skies tomorrow, so a bit more cloud cover than what we saw most of the day Sunday. And you'll notice the temperatures significantly cooler Monday, and really it looks like the week ahead is going to be a little chillier than average. Frontal boundary off to the south of us is went stationary, and that was where most of the showers and storms were during the day Sunday. But we've had a few more showers with a secondary front sneaking in here late this evening, so we can't rule out a couple of sprinkles or light showers passing by until this second front can clear us. But the heavy weather, the strong storms, have been down in the Tennessee Valley. Let's go hour by hour with Futurecast as the cool air pushes in. We'll look for temperatures to drop off here through the night from the 50s, and by morning dipping into the lower to middle 40s, where we may not escape for the day Monday, especially here in the snow belt. This is lunchtime. Clouds scattered about. We get some sunshine in the afternoon. That should help Cleveland, Akron, Canton, Medina climb back into the 50s, but in the snow belt counties, not get out of the upper 40s. We'll likely dip into some upper 30s, mid to upper 30s as we head towards 7 o'clock Tuesday morning. More clouds coming in Tuesday afternoon. Right now, though, it looks like most of the showers will stay to the south of us Tuesday. So other than needing a lighter jacket as we head into Tuesday, you may not need the raincoat until the middle part of the week. Here's your Skycast in the morning. We'll look for partly cloudy skies. Temperatures cooler. We'll start in the lower 40s, certainly a lot cooler than where we spent the weekend. By lunchtime, only 47. Should make it back to the low 50s with a good deal of sunshine midday, and then the clouds kind of move back into the evening hours. And we'll look for temperatures to dip into the upper 30s in many places by early Tuesday morning. As far as the trend ahead, we do anticipate that the temperatures will be holding